Good to see all of you. Fuck, Fraser, that's a hard question, man. You know, do you think religion's a worthwhile thing? Well, you know, it's really individual, bro. Do I think, you know, just quickly, do I think dismissing religion without even looking into it? You know, most people have no idea about religion. They have no idea. I mean, what they've learned is just some indoctrinated version of. They've just been indoctrinated about God in like a fucking year 4 class when they said that there was some dude upstairs sitting in a big chair and shit. Their ideas have got to just. I don't know, man. Something the teacher told them. I think it's your duty as a human being to explore all aspects. You know what I mean? So read up on it, man. Doesn't hurt to read up on stuff, you know what I mean? There might be stuff you're looking for. What a question to start, man. I just woke up, eh? Shouts to you. Who else is here? Let's get into it. You're glowing, yeah. Shouts. It's the light, bro. It's the light, eh? I'm not gonna lie to you. Excuse me, I just had some cereal, man. It's the light. Wagwan, man. Galitos. Where do you live, brother? UK, eh? Any travel plans? Not really, man, eh? Right now I'm just trying to save money, make money. And then, yeah, I'm traveling, but not for a while. Am I a practicing Muslim? It's a great question. Let me answer this question before. Next country would travel to if funds were not an issue. God fucking knows. You know what I would do, man? If funds weren't an issue, I'd probably go do a few months of training in Thailand, in Bangkok maybe. You know, something like that. Just not in the city of Bangkok, but like just a bit outside. You know, I'd get some training in my legs, and just chill. You know, make some videos, stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is, eh? I'm enjoying my time, bro. I'm enjoying my time. Are you a practicing Muslim, or was it something you were brought up? You know, I was brought up as a Muslim. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't really believe in God when I was a kid, man. I don't really believe in God. I didn't really start believing in anything other than my fucking self until I was, I don't know, man, maybe 13 or 14. You know, around then maybe I started to think there was more to life than just fucking me in my own little head. You know, so it's something that cultivated as I grew up. It's not something that I believed. I'd be lying to you if I said I believed it as soon as someone talked to me about it. It's pretty far-fetched to believe, you know what I mean? They're pretty hard concepts to wrap your head around and really believe, you know what I mean? And I always had enough self-respect to myself, you know, to not half-ass shit, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't going to go do something if I didn't believe it. I felt like a phony. And if God was watching me, I'm sure he would know that my intentions are phony too. So it's not something I fucked with too much. But when you say practicing Muslim, it's by the book, people would say I'm not a practicing Muslim. But when I say Muslim, man, it's more of like an identity demographic thing. Like, what I mean by that is like, yeah, my name's Abdullah, my family's Arab, I got brought up with the name of God being Allah. You know, and that's how it is. But if I'm going to be completely honest with you, bro, if you go by the book, people would say I'm not a Muslim, man. But it's just my relationship with God now. When I say God, you know, personally, dude, I don't think God's sitting up there in a big chair looking down on me, fucking, you know, like, I find that hard to believe. But, it's more so that there's some sort of life force or some sort of force behind life itself, you know what I mean? And it governs everything. Whether it's a dude with a big beard, you know, I'm not sure, brother. But, you know, I pray every day, but I don't, you know, do I pray 5 times a day? No. So you're going to say I'm not a practicing Muslim. Do I fast? Yeah. So I mean, but then I know Muslims who eat pork. I know Muslims who fuck all the time. I know Muslims who jack off 10 times a day. I know Muslims who smoke meth, bash dudes, and then go make sure they're there on time for Friday prayer. You know what I mean? So, how much average sleep do you get per night? You know, I get a lot of sleep, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Lately, I've been getting a lot of sleep. I haven't been sleeping that well lately. I don't know, man. I've been doing too much. I haven't been doing too much thinking, but I've been on a thinking escapade, if that's even a word, which I do enjoy from time to time. You know, sometimes I do 2 months of real early nights, and a lot of thinking, which I find very helpful, man. But I don't do it for too many months. I don't do it for too many months, man, because it can become time. It can weigh you down a little bit in terms of sleep. Sometimes you don't sleep too well because you're on the thinking path, which is all chill. But you know, I get way more sleep. You know, sleep's so important, bro. So I try and get 8 hours, man, now. You know I can do fuck all sleep. I've done it for so many years, so it's not worth it to me. Or at least 8 hours of relaxation time. You know, relaxation time. That's key. Just to relax. You know, even if I'm not going to sleep, I like to relax. Like last night, I probably didn't get that much sleep, but I was still in bed for quite some time, and I was quite relaxed also. How to stop being skinny fat? You know, it's a hard question, but it's not, man. Like, some people just have genetics and they're just, once you get to a certain point, bro, you just accept your genetics. When I say you accept your genetics, I'm not talking about you doing 2 sets at the gym and then accepting your genetics. I'm talking about you've been training for so many fucking years and you just accept that physically the form that you would like to take shape in isn't going to happen, and you just deal with what you got. Okay, but that's not a cop-out. Now, you can always improve your physique. Whether how much you can improve it, that's, like I said, it's a genetic thing. But the obvious answer is, you know, I always meet a lot of people who are skinny fat, who don't really have bad genetics. They're just scared. You know, a lot of people are scared to gain a bit of weight. And I mean, if your goal is bodybuilding, I mean, you have to gain a bit of weight. Obviously, it's relative to your training age. The higher your training age, the less weight you gain over time. But, you know, a calorie surplus and progressive overload for a long period of time with a lot of discipline, without the fear of putting on a tiny bit of fat, can really work wonders for your physique. But if you just stay in this in-between zone your whole life, physically you're going to look like that. You know what I mean? Not too fat, not too skinny, soft. So like I said, a long bulk can really help things out. Thank you for your answer, bro. Very insight hearing your perspective on religion. You don't talk bullshit in facts. Appreciate the rumors. Yeah, bro, I mean, yeah, brother. You know, like, so many, at least for me, man, I encountered within my own close circle and within my outer circle, I just noticed that, you know, it's very normal to be scared as a human being. And when you're scared, you make up all sorts of shit in your mind to believe something that you know, to kind of attempt to convince yourself something that's actually, you believe in something when you really don't. It's just fear. It's fear-based religion. You don't actually have this unwielding belief that sits with you inside of you, and you can feel it, and it's something that shapes the way you look at the world, and it's touched you in a way that you can't. It's not like an awakening you can't shut your eyes on, and you feel every day. Like, you feel that there's more to life, man. You know it, but you can't explain it. You know that you're special, but you're stuck inside of a world that's trying to make you feel like you're not special. There's these feelings you feel that they've always been there and they've touched you, and that's what you explore. You know what I mean? That's what you explore. It's interesting, you know what I mean? But fear-based religion's huge, man. Most people just like to believe something, and it's pretty simple, dude. It's so simple, man. People are just trying to escape the fact that their life is temporary, and they're just hoping that there's heaven and hell, and they're hoping that after this there's something. You know what I mean? It's not much more complicated than that. You know, the amount of times I hear people talk about, yeah, well, it's so common, man, within any religion. Let's just take mine, for example, Islam. You hear people talking about being good for the sake of Judgment Day. You hear about people being good for the sake of heaven, for the sake of not going to hell. And it just really it strips the point of living your life, man. The point of being a good human being is to be a good fucking human being. It's not to be a fucking good human being so someone opens the gates of heaven to you. That's not the point. You know what I mean? And you would think if God is everywhere and God is this universal energy that's always there and is always vigilant, he would know that your intentions are fucked up. He would know that your intention is to do good so you receive. Receiving is just a byproduct of doing good. You know? That's all it is. It's not the point of the game, you know what I mean? Shouts to you. For training, what does your genetics control? Your genetics control a lot of stuff, bro. Like your genetics, obviously your muscle shape, you know, the insertions of your muscles, the roundness of your muscles, the muscles. There's so much shit that it can, you know, the width of your clavicles, the length of your limbs, like all these stuff make a huge difference in terms of how you're going to look. But bro, you should just get over how you look, really. I mean, that's the simple answer. I mean, enjoy training for the active discipline and progression over time, but, you know, life is so mean. I'm telling you, dude, your life is going to assume the most meaningless fucking form. The most meaningless form if you spend your whole time just trying to perfect your physique, you know, to the highest level. I don't know. The vlogs are helping me out. Shouts to you, brother. Shout out to you, Mustafa Ali. It's good to see you, brother. Hey man, you're inspiring. Thank you, brother. Next bike adventure. My next bike adventure is to get a fucking... My bike's kind of fucking out of action at the moment. Out of action in the sense that the wheels are fucked. It needs a new chain. I'm really trying to set something new up, but... You know... It is what it is. I always ride my bike. I'll ride whatever I have to. But my next adventure is not for a long time. I'm just going to start training with some intention soon on the bike. I'm actually going to start this month. And build up from there. You know what I mean? So build up my training from this month essentially. Like today is really the first day in the gym since I've been back from the race where I'm going to up the volume on little exercises and really push the progression. I haven't even got close to failure. I've probably been leaving 3 or 4 reps in the tank ever since I got back from the indie pack. So, you know, I'm going to bump that up today a bit more intensity. Not too much because I don't need too much to progress at the moment, but stuff like that. And then the bike, you know, the adventures come. You know, the adventures come. Like I'm excited. You know, after a few months of training, you can go kind of test it and have fun with it. So. What do you recommend as far as smoking weed and training? You know, I don't really have too much experience smoking weed and training. You know, I know a lot of people who I've trained with in the past who smoke heaps of weed and train. You know, I just wouldn't recommend it, man. I just wouldn't recommend it. Obviously it's doable because I know plenty of people who've done it and do it well. But I don't think, I can't really, in my opinion, I can't recommend you do it, bro. What do I get more excited about? Weight training or cycling? Bro, to be honest with you, I don't really get excited. It's hard to explain to you, man. Like, you know, I get excited for both. But when I say excited to me is, I just drank my coffee and I'm walking to the gym and the wind's hitting my face and I feel like a fucking king for 2 minutes and then I'm in the gym. You know what I mean? That's excited to me. I don't know. It's just a part of what I do now, man. It's just part of what I do now. It's really emotionless. It's really an emotionless thing for me. I still enjoy both, man. I still enjoy both. I enjoy but excitement. I'd be lying to you if I said that I wake up like, fuck, I'm so excited to go train. I haven't had that for years. You know, I just know it's an important thing that I do, and I just do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a sexy answer, man. You know, it's not really a sexy answer, but I mean, that's the truth. Like, when I go for a bike ride, it's not like I'm so excited for the go for a bike ride. Like, I know it's gonna be a good thing, and I just go, man. How's H? I saw H on the weekend, man. H is mad dog. He's been working a lot lately because he's been upgraded in his job. So, you know, shout outs to H, man. He's doing some crazy project now where they're building some huge fucking government fucking thing. I don't even know how to explain it to you, dude, but it's a big deal. That's what it is. Do I have a mountain bike anymore? No. J5, shout outs to you. Best country I've been to before. You know, all countries are great, man. I can't really pinpoint one, man. It's just where the food's good and the people's good, man. Thoughts on veganism? You know, I'm a fan of veganism, man. You know, you have to ask more of a specific question. You're talking about just, well, the overall idea of veganism is a great idea, man. It's not even an idea. I'm talking about veganism as a practice. Veganism is one of the best practices you can do. Not sexy, it's cool. Cheers to the answer, Abdullah. The reason I asked is because I think that seems there's a trade-off involved. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's unrealistic to think you're going to be excited about training your whole life, man. You know, it comes periods of times and shit when you are, and you're more excited than others. I'm talking emotions, man, but emotions come and go, man. It's just the nature of the mind. You know, one day you wake up, you want to be Jay Cutler. The next day you wake up, you don't want to be fucking anybody. You still go and do it, you know what I mean? So you just get removed from that whole process of relying on your emotions to do things, which is great because it liberates you from your mind, and you're fully in control. But I just enjoy the process, man. I enjoy the It's just a practice for me. It's just a practice. It's a setup for my day, and the day's a setup for my training. And that's all it is, you know what I mean? Do I find I'm finding less joy? Of course, man. I mean, it's just an evolutionary process. Things I used to find joy in, I don't find anymore. Like, dude, I used to enjoy watching mad YouTube all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I used to actually I don't enjoy watching YouTube that much anymore, man. You know what I mean? That's something I used to find so enjoyable like 2 years ago. I can't do it no more, man. You know, there's heaps of stuff that I used to enjoy outside of all that kind of shit too that I don't really enjoy anymore, man. There's people you used to enjoy, you don't enjoy them anymore. It's just evolutionary, man. It's just the process of evolving, eh? Matt the vegan, are you a vegan? Yes. Should I get a single speed bike for overall training? No, I would get a bike with gears if it's for overall training. A single speed's great, man. Like, I'm not going to get what the fuck you want, man. Get what the fuck you want to ride, realistically. Like, if you told me that, I wouldn't listen to you if I wanted to get a single speed. I would just get what I wanted to get. But if you're looking to go up hills and your fitness isn't that great and you want the gearing to be able to go up some big hills and shit, then obviously you need the gears. You know, so obviously you need the gears. So, but at the end of the day, bro, if your heart's set on a single speed, get a single speed, dude. If you had to pick one, what would it be? Avocados or mangoes? I'm a fan of fucking both, man, eh? I'm a fan of both. I can't pick one, man. To be honest with you, I don't eat them too often either, man. I don't eat them too often. Yeah, bro. Unless the mangoes are in season and shit, like, I don't really fuck with them all the time. I'm real simple with my food, man. I'm real simple with my food, like, I gotta make sure I just get enough variety, and I'm real simple with it, man. I try and simplify my food. I don't like it to be too sexy and shit. Like, you know, putting yeast on your food and shit and ketchup is enough. Like, that's sexy enough. Too much above that is just, I feel like it goes against, you know, I just don't like it, man. You know, too many superfoods, cacao, fucking all this bullshit. I don't do that, man. No. Have I trained people on diet training? Yeah, I have. But, you know, I haven't done it in a long time. I mean, it becomes, what you start telling people is, I mean, it's cool to train people on diet and training, but it's so simple, man. And it's cool because effectively you're trying to give people the tools so they can go do it themselves. But it's not meant to be like some relationship where they're always having to rely on you to make decisions. You want to empower the person with the knowledge to make their own decisions in their own training and nutrition. Yeah, but sometimes people come to you and you're telling them shit. You say, dude, bro, like, brush your teeth. Like, trying to get lean, but you don't brush your teeth. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, go brush your fucking teeth, man. You know? So, are you doing a meditation practice? Yeah, I meditate every day, bro. Well, it depends what you call class meditation, but I meditate through all practices, dude. It doesn't have to be with my arms, my arms, my hands folded and my legs crossed. But the most active form of, like, the most close form of meditation in terms of sitting there would be before bed. I do it before bed. Now's the time, especially, over the next few months, because Ramadan's coming up next month and this month, and I'm also writing some crazy notebook up. It's just crazy, man. So I focus more on this practice before bed because, I don't know, just funky shit happens. I'll just do it before bed, man. Bro, is coconut oil healthy? I've got no idea, man. I can't say coconut oil is not healthy. I know it's a medium chain triglyceride. Now, people say it's not healthy. People say, I don't even get into it, bro. I love coconut and I eat coconut. Do I eat it every day? No. Would I be worried to eat it? No. Where's Jess? Jess is overseas right now, bro. She's in Thailand. She's coming back soon. Do you think it's important in life to set yourself challenges? Of course, man. Of course it's important to set yourself. Of course it is, man. It's key. It's absolutely fucking key. It's the biggest key, man. Fortunately for us, man, which also, I don't really know your situation too well. You know what I mean? But I'm just generalizing for a lot of people. It's not like they have any inherent challenge placed upon them from birth. They're not growing up in Africa where food is scarce and it's a fucking war zone and they have to run fucking 30 k's to school, and they're not born into it, you know what I mean? I definitely wasn't born into it. I was born into modern day challenges, man. My mum had to deal with those raw challenges and her mum had to deal with those raw challenges, and the fact that they overcome those challenges is what allowed me to grow up in this level of, in this quality of life, you know what I mean? So for the way for me to progress on my own path, I have to find challenges, man. Because it's not like they're going to come to me now. It's not like they're just going to walk into my life. I actually have to go physically, mentally, whatever, seek them out. And that's key because it's different when it's different when you go to school and someone hands you an assignment and you're forced to do it. But when you go and seek it out yourself and you learn about yourself and you put yourself in the mix, man. It's just a self-realization process, man. It's just this level of self-mastery that you attain through going out, setting the challenge, and succeeding, overcoming the challenge, doing what you said you were going to do. Otherwise, life will just take a meaningless form, dude. That's what it's going to become for you. It was just going to become a meaningless existence, which is quite sad, but it's quite easy for life to adopt that shape. Extremely fucking meaningless. Just a meat bag walking through fucking the earth, not knowing shit about yourself, not knowing how to operate, always a victim of the outside world, or this idea of the outside world. And then, just going your 9 to 5 every day and just thinking this is what I'm destined for. Which is, fuck, man, that'll get you down if you fucking do that. You know what I mean? Like, so, challenge is a way for people, like, who have no immediate challenge on their life, I should say, who wake up with just enough money to get by, who wake up with just enough friends to make them feel like they're not psychotic, who wake up with enough of a schedule not to get bored, to really develop, man. It's our ticket to develop, and yeah. How was my weekend? Anything I encountered which was hilarious or hard? Well, my weekend was pretty hard. I just worked this weekend. I didn't work that much. I worked Saturday and Sunday, but not too many hours, just, enough to eat and piss and shit. And it was cool, man. The weather was out and I was just relaxing, man. Just nice to go to work and relax. You do a job, you walk around, you do a job, you sit down, just soak in the sun, you walk around, and I really enjoyed that. What are my staples in my diet every day, man? I eat some form of like tofu, I eat some form of gluten, some of soya for like dinner/lunch for the majority of my protein. I eat some protein powder, I eat some cereal, I eat a lot of berries, I eat a lot of peanut butter, I eat a lot of vegan cheese. That's really it, man. Oh, I eat vegetables, obviously, like broccoli, cauliflower, greens, sometimes bok choy, shit like that, man. I'm only really having two and a half, three. I wouldn't even say 3 meals, man. I say 2.5 meals a day. That's how I like it, man. That's how I like it. That's the zone I like to operate in. You know what I mean? So it's cool. Have you started learning anything new recently? No, dude. I don't really. Bro, I study life. I know I'm not trying to sound like a fucking arrogant cunt, but that's really my long-term study project. I just study life and I study myself moving through life. That's all I study. Yeah. As terms of doing code, I've done code before and I didn't really enjoy it, so I never really paid attention. But shout outs to you for learning code. It's great to learn new things, man. It's great to learn new things. I mean, it's so satisfying to learn something new and then put it into practice. I deliver food at the moment. So, yeah, bro, just delivering food every day. Yeah, I don't have to do too much per day, man. I mean, that's the sweet fucking joy of it. I don't have to do too much per day. Like, 4 or 5 hours gets me by. Like, that gets me by if it's busy. So I got a lot of free time after that, man. I'm just cruising, dude. I'm just packaging t-shirts and doing food. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a sweet, joyous ride, man. Yeah, on the bike deliveries, bro. Feeding the people, man. Feeding the people. It's an enjoyable practice, I tell you what. It's like a noble practice to be feeding people. I'm like level 10 Uber Eats now, dude. Like, I don't even deliver from some places because it's just, I just don't do it. I'm a fan of PB2, man, but it's a bit pricey sometimes for what you get. So, if I'm feeling outrageous, I buy some PB2. If I'm feeling like I want to keep my life real simple, clean cut, I don't get the PB2, it's just too much effort. I'm happy with the pizza, man shows up with my food, but imagine, I've actually met people delivering food to them, dude. It's so funny. But I met people who've seen me on the channel before delivering food. But the balance between endurance training and lifting, what progress and realistic form for? By the way, I don't deliver pizza anymore, man. You know what I mean? There's one pizza place I boycotted, bro. Like, I don't deliver from them because it's just bad. It's bad energy, dude. I don't even go. Like, there's also this bagel shop, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck how many orders I get from there. I just don't deliver from there because it's just not worth my time. I don't like going in there, dude. Because once I saw the girl who like chucked the knife at this other Indian girl, like low key, like it was hell dangerous, man. And I came back like 2 days later, and the Indian girl was still working there, and I was just looking at her, just ashamed. I was like, I want you to leave this place. I was ready to write her a check and say, leave. I'm going to pay for your wage this week. Like, I didn't have the money to do that, so I didn't do it. But you know what I mean? So every time I get an order from this joint, I'm just like, oh my god, I just cancel it. I'm like, I'm not going there, man. Fuck the rating, man. This is a form of control, man. Like, what kind of life would I be living, man, if I accepted money to go to this place and be surrounded by these people and make them money? I can't do it. I can't do it. That's what happens when you're a grandmaster 33-degree Uber Eats delivery driver, dude. You become selective. Balance between endurance training and lifting. What progress is realistic in performance and appearance? Shit, that's a question and a half. Well, first question, balance between endurance training and lifting. Well, it's a hard question to answer because it depends on the amount you're doing of both, and it depends on your goals. What progress is realistic in forms of performance and appearance? Well, there's a difference between performance and appearance. Not often do they, a lot of the time they do correlate. Like, you perform better on a lift and the muscles that are utilised the most in those lifts do develop, but not always. So it really depends on your specific scenario, brother. And it's a really specific question because it really does depend on your training age, how much you're eating, how much endurance work you're doing, what's your program look like. It's a detailed question. I'm surprised that you don't have a bigger following than you do. You've got a great energy on camera and preach a positive message. Do you have any plans? Focus on more on growing the channel. Braden, go. My channel doesn't grow because I don't put in the effort that it needs to grow. That's 100% the truth. And that's for a lot of reasons, bro. That's for a lot of reasons. There's a level at it where I feel like for me to be a valuable resource to my channel, even the relative, whatever the fucking audience is, 50 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, I need to be an active member of life. I need to be experiencing life first fucking person, not through a camera screen, to be able to come back and have something to say, or just be able to talk like a real human being, because I am. I'm not some cunt just living behind a fucking camera, making heaps of cash, trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. I've got to experience this shit firsthand, so I can become one of the people. I want to see the people eye to eye, and for me to see them eye to eye, I got to be a real motherfucking person. I can't be living in fucking YouTube land. You know what I mean? So that's a part of it. And then a part of it is and then another part of it is the content I like to make doesn't really. I would have to change it a little bit to fit the YouTube market. And I'm not willing to do that. I'm really not willing to fucking do that. Is that a cop-out in some ways? Yes. Is it not a cop-out in some ways? Yes. It's equal parts cop-out and non-cop-out. You know what I mean? But I'm always making some form of content, bro. I got some content coming out in the next month, which is G. It's going to be G. But I guarantee you, it's not. The only people going to feel it are you people. Shouts to you, Pedal Plants. Love you, bro. Shouts to you. Likewise. Glad you like the pictures. Hope you and Jess too. This was Sugarloaf Mountain. My girlfriend loved it, bro. People ask me about the shirt all the time. I said surgeon at the top, post-op. Shouts to you, brother. Thank you for wearing the shirt up the mountain. Flying at high altitudes. Did you use a heart rate? I didn't use anything on the back, man. I just used belief and intention. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's all I use, belief and intention. That's all I use. Heart rate, power meter, cadence meter. I use none of it. And I didn't want to because it's a distraction. It's a distraction. And it's not fun for me. And it's not fun for me to have numbers. And these numbers create belief systems that just limit the fuck out of you. And there's nothing like being on your limit for hours and not knowing how it's going to work out. That to me is so fun. That's half the fun, man, is not knowing how shit's going to pan out and just going. It was just an amazing experience, what I should say. And it is an amazing experience. Something you got to experience for yourself, man. Like, no power meter, no heart rate monitor, just a headwind on your limit with 180 Ks to go until you're going to stop, and just go for it. And don't think the fact that you got another 6 hours of this shit. You just go for it, and it's a beautiful feeling, man. Shouts to Ro for doing these early in the morning. Shouts to you, brother. Do you ever get tips from customers? For me, it's always the most great. Yeah, tips. For what customers? You talking about for Uber, bro? My thoughts on stim machine. I don't know what that is, eh? Fill me in. That's not that thing you attack, like, it sends electronic, like, you know, the little shocks in your muscles and shit. Brandon, I appreciate, you know, you are right, bro. Like I said, it's a cop-out. I think people now these days, you know, to lean towards the comment, they're looking for something more honest, man. They're looking for something more genuine. They're looking, I mean, a lot of people just put up with what's out there and they watch what they have to watch. But I think, you know, as time's going on, people are getting more fed up and they see through it, man. And they want something more, so. Yeah, Uber. I never really get tips from Uber, man. I never really get tips from anybody. I never really do get tips from anybody. Oh, you're talking about tips. You're talking about, I think you meant tips as in critique. You're talking about tips as in money. Yeah, I never really get money. You know, a couple of times I get money. I used to deny the money because it would always be drunk dudes giving me 20 bucks and shit, and I'd be like, no, I don't want your fucking cash. Take your cash. But then I was like, why aren't I taking this cash? I mean, if you're gonna give me the cash, why not? I'm working. And it was, but and sometimes they don't realize like the gravity. Like I had some dudes sometimes give me like $3, like, and I'd be like, dude, I'm only getting paid $6 for this. You give me $3. That's like 150%. That's like 50% of what I'm making up. It's a big amount of cash, you know. It really is. It really is humbling. And you know, I've had other times where I've delivered shit in the most heinous conditions at like 2 a.m. like in the freezing cold, in the rain, and dudes are just like upset that you took like 2 minutes longer. So, what's with the light bulb? It's creating the light to see me. Do I enjoy bike packing, bike camping trips, or do you primarily do multi-day specifically for the training? I enjoy camping, but I haven't really done too much of it. It's not that I don't enjoy it. If I'm going to be honest with you, I've only done multi-day training rides, and I really enjoy those. Patella tendon rupture is going well. Coming up 5 weeks out of brace. I can lift my leg independently. I can get it 23. Ooh. Shit, dude. I mean, that's a brutal fucking injury, dude. But I'm glad you're making progress, eh? It's kind of exciting, the progress you're making. I can only imagine what it feels like. Yeah, I've used that electronic, you know, used that on my hips, my ass, and, you know, I'm not sure if it worked, but my girlfriend's got some cheap one off eBay that I used to fuck with before bed in deep training, you know, like. Only check your channel now. Yeah, I do. I do work for Uber Eats. It's great. It's, you know, it's a good job, man. Especially this time of the year. It's busier. Summer, you don't do this shit in summer. I'll tell you what. In summer's cool, man, because you're just hanging out with dudes and we're all making no money. But in winter, it's a viable source of income. You know, I'm like part-time because I like to do part-time, not part-time, like, but I make split income between selling t-shirts and Uber, if I'm gonna be honest. Thoughts on Deliveroo? You know, I think Deliveroo pay more, but I think it's hard to become a delivery. It's like Foodora and Deliveroo, they're hard to become drivers, man, because they're like full. You know, they're more of a humane company in terms of, you know, limiting the amount of people that can work. We just flood the fucking streets, you know. You following the bodybuilders? What do you think of? I saw Callum von Moger's injury. I mean, you know, it's a hard. I saw the injury. It's a hardcore injury. I'd never wish that injury on anybody. I was intrigued by it because I was thinking like, it's hard to know, man, because everyone was saying like that's what happens when you're a gearhead and you don't have strong enough tendons to cope with the muscle that you have and all that kind of stuff. And it's hard to know. That could literally have just been bad luck and one of the most brutal. And anyone would have fucked their knee up. People saying that's what happens, you know, when you're a bodybuilder and shit and you're severely unfunctional. But I mean, you are going down a fucking cliff weighing 200 something pounds or whatever. I mean, I think that would have fucked up anyone. And it's a terrible injury. I think people take it a bit too far. They're like, Callum, like straighten up your life. Like, you're going to be Mr. Olympia. It's like, dude, maybe the dude doesn't want to be fucking Mr. Olympia. Maybe he just wants to be a regular dude. And unfortunately, he's stuck in the trap where he needs to be that big because that's his fucking finance. That's the only thing he knows how to do. Maybe this dude, the only thing he knows how to do is be a big motherfucker, and that's it. So he has to stay big, in his mind at least. And he gets these crazy injuries, which are just terrible, you know. How do I keep consistent with the uploads? I don't really keep consistent with the uploads, bro. I mean, I do a few live streams per week, and that's really it. Shouts to you, Louis V. Enjoy your bench press. That was crazy. I could hear it. Yeah, I heard it. It was like, it hurt to like look at the video, man. What's going to be your primary focus after the IPR? Cycling or bodybuilding? Cycling and bodybuilding. You know, I would say it would be maintaining the weight training once the cycling gets high enough to where I can't really progress in the weight training anymore. You know, so at the start it's more even, but then as time progresses throughout the year, it becomes more lopsided to cycling. What's the vision for the channel at the moment? Can't believe you haven't blown up more. Puts me off the training. Hey bro, don't look at me as what you can fucking achieve on YouTube, because I guarantee you, if you put your mind to it and you work hard enough for endless amounts of fucking time and you have the belief and dedication and fucking drive, you know, you can make something of yourself on YouTube. I mean, bro, you know, like there's a place on there for you if you want there to be. So don't look at me and get put off, because I'm no one to look at for that. But my vision for the channel at the moment is, you know, obviously, I think I'm going to take it down, you know, well, it kind of just coincides with what I'm doing. So, I mean, for the next year for me, it's going to be a lot of cycling. And I'm trying to get the cycling thing happening a little bit more. So, you know, that will be reflected in the channel. In terms of the near future, I got something coming out, but it's gonna come out at the end of Ramadan, dude. It's gonna come out at the end of Ramadan. It's gonna be fucking epic, dude. You know, I'm pretty excited for it. I haven't been excited to release something for quite some time, and you know, it's going to be pretty epic, man. It's going to be a cartoon. It's a cartoon. I need someone to do the cartoon work. You know, I need someone to do the visual, the cartoon style drawing, and then that will come out. It's going to be fucking epic, man. You know, I haven't seen anything like it. It's going to be epic, man. You know, like. So I'm looking forward to that. I work a little bit on that every day, and the dialogue on that every day, which is cool, man. Because I don't usually write, like, so writing's kind of hard for me. But it's interesting to write, man, because you know I don't really have good grammar, I don't really have good spelling, so it's a bit of a learning experience too. Because I'll spell something wrong, I have to look it up and do that whole process, which is interesting. And you know, it's cool to try and articulate things you feel with limited language. Split 88, have a great day, brother. Can you explain more of the use of the drawstring bag use? Bro, the drawstring bag is just a bag. Like, you just said it, it's just a bag. Like, that's all I used it for, being a bag. Yeah, it's just a bag. Like, you just fill it up with food. It's more, sometimes you don't need that much food. That's why I don't have the extra space on the bike for another bag. It would just become useless. Like, I could have had a handlebar bag. You know the handlebar bag I'm talking about. But in terms of getting food out, I would have to, I don't like the idea of that. It seems a bit more clumsy and messy, and what am I going to do with that bag if it's not filled with food? You know, so the drawstring bag is just, if you need to have more food that you can't fit on your bike and you're gone for a long period of time, you just fill it up with food and drink and then just keep riding. I mean, it's not that uncomfortable to wear a bag for 4 or 5 hours like that, filled with water and food. Like, you end up not even feeling it, you know, and for the space it takes up when it's empty, It takes up no space when it's empty. You know, a lot of the time I couldn't even be putting it back in my bag, so I just left it on my back with nothing on, with nothing in it. You know, that's how it just becomes a part of your kit, really. Or you can stuff it in the back of your jersey. So I think it's an invaluable tool. It's almost like having zip ties and tape. Like, what you can get away with just zip ties, tape, and a drawstring bag is heinous. You can fit a lot of food taped to your body in the bag, and you can do all sorts of stuff with those three things. You can build a whole universe on your bike with those three things, which is really cool. I don't know what that means, bro. Fill that in. What's delusions of grandeur? Fill me in, Keith. Shouts to you, brother. Good to see you, by the way. What's my next trip? My next trip is, I've got no idea. Shit. Shouts to you, $9. Shouts to you. T. Shouts to you, brother. Shouts to you, W. Johnson. I appreciate it. Did you buy a shirt the other day, dude? I felt like you bought a shirt the other day. Just see your name and email. Shouts to you, brother. Even if you didn't buy a shirt, still shouts to you, brother. Appreciate you watching. You know what I mean? Dude, I saw Joey Carson yesterday before it was mad to see him, dude. Sorry, I'm talking anything like it's a mate. I saw him before he went to fucking, he was flying off the UK yesterday from Melbourne. It's so good to see cunt, you know. You know, it's sad you only get to catch up for a little bit of time on his head, because it's like, how do you depict it to fucking, I haven't seen him so long, so it's really hard to talk about everything, because he's had so much crazy shit happen in such a short amount of time, really. But it's always good to see Joey, and he's on his path, and you know, he speaks to what happens when you just have an unbreakable belief and intention. You set off, you do what's necessary. I mean, stuff happens. You know, stuff happens. So it's amazing to see. Yeah, I did. Shout, I knew it, dude. I knew it. I knew you did. I knew you did, lad. Shout out to you, dude. I blessed the shirt when I packaged it, bro, and I fucking mean it. I'm not even trying to make it sound like I'm doing you a solid. Every time I package that shirt, I bless it, and you know, I give thanks, man. I give thanks, because it's not many people in the world who have that opportunity, you know. And I give thanks because it's given me meaning. My life be easily a lot more meaningless, but there's more meaning to it because of you guys. You know, so shout out to you. Where did you source the music IP I really like? You know, Seth, I sourced the music for the documentary from all sorts of places. I sourced it from my own fucking, it's basically, obviously, it's all the music I like, bro. It's a weird combination of music because you got, you know, Mobb Deep. You got dudes chanting, you know, you got dudes chanting. You got all sorts of music, and you got music from Lord of the Rings. Like, I really just put in everything I fucking like, man. And I can't afford to make my own music. I can't afford for someone else to pay my, you know, I can't afford to get someone and be like, yo, make me a song like the song in The Hobbit. I'm not saying, but I want the same. I want to be, you know, or yo, I like French horn sound in Star Wars. Get me a French horn. Get French horn. You play me a solo thing with a quarter. You know, I don't have the funds to do that, so I take what I need. That I like, you know, so it was cool. But I saw some, you know, I actually got music from YouTube, dude, just on YouTube. But it's music I've been listening to since I was a kid, or I found it, or it was a part of it I was trying to play out in the movie, like, so. Shout out to Matt Dillon. You're at 743, 7Ks in a week. It's quite a lot of Ks, bro. It's quite a lot of Ks. You know, that's a huge amount of kilometers when you're always coming home. If you're on some crazy ass fucking journey and like going in the middle of nowhere, yeah, you can do an intense amount of kilometers. But, you know, doing that many Ks in a week when you come back home and do normal life is quite a lot of training, and it makes an effect on you. In a good way, you know, so shout out to you. Yeah, shout out to you, W. Johnson. I really appreciate it, brother. I mean, I can't really articulate how much I appreciate it, other than saying I appreciate it. Shout out to you, Harry B, for the £5. Keith, did you answer what that word was? Of grandeur? Fill me in, brother. It's getting chilly here in Melbourne, man. I'm doing a power stream, dude. I mean, an endurance stream today. I don't know why. I just felt like it, eh? But you got to go with your heart, man. I felt a bit, I don't know, eh? Safe, shouts to you. Joey's evolution is beautiful. It really is, man. It really is. And what else can you wish for a person, man? To just be doing what they want in life at the current moment. Yeah, there's no other. It's the only thing you can wish for someone, man. To be getting what they want, man, out of life. It's a beautiful thing. Best way to motivate people. Well, really, I think in my own experience, motivate. I mean, you try and push people to a level of understanding where motivation doesn't exist. It's because you can motivate people. Superficially motivating people is easy. I mean, you can just say a few lines and people get razzled up to go, and you say, drink a coffee and listen to me for 2 minutes, you get motivated. I'm not talking about me, I'm just talking about the sense of anyone who knows what to say. And you can really play at somebody's emotions and depending on the situation. But you try and always shift people into a mindset. You try and shift people into a space, if you really care for them, where motivation doesn't fucking exist. Where they're free of emotion, where they can act free on emotion. When they're not a slave to the very thing they've been slave to their whole fucking life, and you try and deepen their understanding about, the reality they find themselves in, to really come at it from a standpoint where they're always driven by something that's always there, and life is always there. If you're alive, life is always there. Life force is always there. So trying to get someone inspired of just life in general is really the ultimate goal in terms of you're trying to help somebody. Because that's something they can always rely on. If they're alive, they have it. You can always rely on that. You can always rely on your humility and appreciation for life to keep you going. You can't rely on Joe fucking Blow. You can't rely on some girl down the street who likes a six-pack. You can't rely on your girlfriend. You can't rely on your mum. You can't rely on any of that. What you can rely on is the very life force that runs through you, that runs through everything that you're a part of, that you have an extreme appreciation for, a humility for, a lack of understanding for, which makes the magic return to the trees, which makes the saturation return to everything. You can rely on that all the time. So I think if you're trying to help somebody, that's what you try and tell them, man. Otherwise, they're just going to wake up one day, want to do something, wake up the next day, not want to do something, wake up. You're trying to let them know that it's their duty to be maximizing their potential on planet Earth. And they have, and that's the highest level of humility and respect. Is you have no other option other than to get better. That's it, man. That's really it. It's not out of, oh, I'm a nobody, I'm trying to fill the void that's never actually been there. It's not out of inadequacy. It's not out of like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm a nobody. Let me try and fill the void that doesn't actually exist. That's why I never feel like I can fill it. It's the complete opposite. Yeah, bro, I've been weight training for a long time, since I got back. Yeah, I do always ride solo. I don't really find myself, my close friendship group doesn't really ride. Shouts to Thomas. I mean, we would ride, but it'd be pointless. It would be, not because one of us is more fit than the other, but it would just be better for us to go for a walk down the street, grab a coffee and go for a walk, you know what I mean? Or he comes over to my house or something. That's probably more of a good time. And have a snack, But I don't really have any friends in the city who ride that I can ride with, that I would feel comfortable riding with. My friend Eddie started to ride. He's got a TCR. But he goes off solo, man. I check his Instagram sometimes. He's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So he likes to do his own thing too. I mean, for him, he probably spends a lot of time with people he likes to get out by himself. And for me, I just find the benefits of my cycling are just very, very, very high when it's done by myself. I'm not trying to be out there to talk to people when I cycle. I'd sit down with you and have a chat, but trying to ride and chat, I just don't like it. Yeah, I do remember the series with Lean Gains. He's a mad guy. Any channels you subscribe to, I feel everything I follow has died off or evolved into something I'm longer interested. Hey, Brendan, I'm the same as you, bro. I just go to the homepage, I just go to the homepage. I just see what's on the homepage, dude. Unfortunately, dude, like, there's nothing real good on the homepage no more. I mean, maybe I'm a bit of a pessimist saying YouTube's fucking shit. But, there's a lot of good stuff out. I mean, there's probably heaps of good stuff out there. Am I going to sit there scouring for dear life trying to find something to entertain me for half an hour? No. You know, I'd rather sit and look at the fucking cranes across from my building. You know, just because I feel guilty watching shit stuff, man. I feel guilty. I feel guilty, like the thing inside of me saying, dude, why are you infecting me with this? It's saying, why are you polluting my being with this? It's like saying, why are you so disrespectful to your own existence? You're gonna watch this shit. You're better off just staring at the fucking clouds. You know, so I find that voice more and more overwhelming now to where I can't really watch stuff that's shit. And I definitely can't watch that stuff that's shit just so I can say it's shit. You know? So yeah. Do you have any long-term goals for sport, life, career? Do you go with it, play by ear, and trust that you have the right attitude, mindset that will put you in? Yeah, I don't have no long-term goals, man. I don't watch Flat Earth videos, by the way. I don't have no long-term goals. I mean, I do hypothetically, I want to do this and do that, but, you know, I play it by the heart, man. I play it by the heart. I just have good intentions, and when I say I have good intentions, it's not some iffy-fiffy, I have good intentions and I'm going to fucking stab you. You can have good intentions and be a murderer. You can have good intentions and do all sorts of crazy shit. But I just make sure I have good intentions, they're reflected through my actions, and I always just do what feels best at the time. Now, it's easy to sit there and think I'm making no progress in life. I'm just talking from my own standpoint, because I've had this, I'm just like anybody, I think like that sometimes. Just because my mind is just a cunt. But I think it's served me pretty well so far, man. You know, I've met some people that I never thought I would have met. I've made relationships I never thought I would have made. I've done athletically things I never thought I was capable of. You know, I make just enough money to do what I need to do. And you know, life's pretty gracious in that sense that if you're willing to do what's necessary and you have the right intentions that are reflected through your actions, I think you're going to be pretty safe, man. I think it's a safe formula, you know, combined with, you know, hard work, obviously, but hard work put in the right places, man. Because if you don't understand the nature of reality and you just work hard, you're always going to be a cunt. And I know that sounds brutal, but it's the truth. There's plenty of people who work hard and not getting what they want out of it. Mate, there's people who work 80 hours a week and they're not getting what they want out of it. So it's about, I think it's a combination of understanding. And understanding is so relative. It's not my understanding, it's your understanding. It has to be you have to believe in it and you have to understand it for yourself. It's not something you read in a book, it's something that you feel. It's on you. Not on me to tell you, it's on fucking you. It has to be your understanding. So that understanding, with the right intentions, with the work, and the belief that's unbreakable by anybody, I think you're going to be graciously guided through the experience. And it will always work out in your favor, man. Because it really always is working out in your favor once you become aware of that. So shout out to you. I don't have any, you know, Jess is about to come back from China. So when she's back, she can hit you up on what to do. She loved it, by the way. Just talking to her on the phone, she loved China. So, I don't think she traveled around too much. I think she was in Chengdu. She will fill us in when she gets back. Did you have any digestive issues while doing the Indie Having to consume? Yeah, I had heaps of digestion issues. I had diarrhea for a week. I was shitting the bed when I came back. So it really messed my stomach up real good. But I think it's kind of hard to prepare for something like that, bro. I mean, I think on multi-day rides and 24-hour rides, you can kind of perfect it to a certain degree. But when you go out in such a situation that's so unknown, it's kind of not hard to know how your stomach's going to react. But I did have digestion issues. And I have had digestion issues on smaller rides. Anything that goes over 24 hours, I've had digestion issues if I'm continuously going with no stopping. And usually it's just shitting water. I don't know what that is. You know, and it's happened regardless of the amount that I've eaten. Because I used to think, oh, maybe I'm just empty and I'm shitting water because I'm empty and something crazy is going on. But it's not because I'm empty. Because I've eaten, 20,000 calories and still shat water. I have a feeling it's probably just too much food, too much stress, not enough blood going to the stomach. I'm not sure, man. Because it's hard to consume 20,000 calories while you're doing a bike ride. And I'm just thinking, like, how is everything taking place? How is there enough blood going to the stomach, blood going to my muscles? And it just feels unnatural, So it's kind of sick how you have to eat so much to do a bike ride like that. It kind of goes against, it just feels off, man. I mean, you can do it, but just some funk is going down. I'm doing bicycle deliveries these days, Red Pill Vegan. Not being undercarbed. Not really, dude. I mean, not being undercarbed is, you got to eat enough, man. But that's like, Red Pill Vegan, I love you, dude. But being carved up isn't the key to everything. It's the key to a lot of things, but it's not the key to everything, bro. You can be carved up and still be an asshole. You can be carved up and still have the most pathetic outlook on life that serves nobody other than your own selfish fucking mind. So, eating enough for your lifestyle is key in terms of operating at optimal function. But there's levels beyond that which are going to make you feel which are going to dictate how you feel, man. Like, I tell you what, bro, I have to drink less water than I did 5 years ago. I mean, you realize that, like, once you're healthy, man, once you're healthy, there's like this health, like, I don't know, I'm just talking from my own experience, it might sound like shit, but maybe you've experienced it. It's like, being in decent health is only going to make you feel as good as that can feel. Like, if you're below that, you're going to feel it. But if you're there, there's no point going beyond it. Like, if drinking 3 liters of water is enough for you per day, then drinking 4 or 5 is useless. It's in pursuit of something that you're not going to get no return for. If you're if you're sufficient in all vitamin levels, now adding all this bullshit to your food and thinking that's going to do anything is not going to make you feel any different. You know what I mean? And if you're still feeling terrible and you've met all your nutritional needs, it just goes to show you that there's other factors at play that determine, how you feel day to day. Largely your outlook and awareness of life. So, food's a part of it. And for a lot of people, it's a large part of it because they eat like shit. A lot of people eat like shit. I see dudes in the morning, man, ordering whole chickens and kebabs and shit. I'm like, dude, it's 8 o'clock on a Monday morning. Now, even if you're going to do nothing today, don't eat a kebab at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. That's a problem. You know what I mean? And it's not like these dudes went out. They just woke up. And they went to bed at fucking 8 p.m. So it's not like this dude just had a bend, he's having a kebab. It's like, no, you're going to uni in 2 hours. So, take care of nutrition, but there's other things you need to take care of. Shout out to you, Red Pill Vegan. Am I hard carb or general? Or just, I'm nothing, man. Veganism's enough. I don't do the high carb. Like, I don't even think about it, man. I don't even think about it. Do you know what I mean? The subgenres of veganism is not something I look into, like high carb, low fat, high carb. I'm done with all of that. That's something I explored when I was a lot younger, a lot earlier on my journey. Yeah, there is a lack of vegan food on the way. I'm not going to lie to you. There definitely is a lack of vegan food along the way across Australia. Largely around Perth, but salty crap's kind of good for you, man. You need the salt. Vitamins and minerals. I mean, you just hope that you have enough, you're nourished enough before to be able to carry you over. Like, I was very you know, if there's a time and to be over pedantic about being extremely nourished, I was before. You know, I was doing, you know, I was eating crazy amounts of veggies. I was eating crazy amounts of, you know, just all the soup. I was eating crazy amounts of fruit, crazy amount of veggies, crazy amounts of beetroot juice, crazy amounts of fucking yeast. All of it, you know what I mean? Like, unlimited amounts of food, but just like all colors, every fucking food group I could think of, I was eating it. And I was thinking, you know, that will carry me over, and it did carry me over for quite some time. It probably carried me over for a week. It felt like it, you know what I mean? I had those stores to, and I was definitely fat enough to be able to hold me over. You know, that really helped. I think if I was 5 kilos lighter, it would have been an issue. I saw Joey yesterday. Shouts to Joey, mad dog. Yeah, you're losing heaps of salt, man. I was losing heaps of salt. You know, when my lips got burnt, it became very hard. You know, I've never had a cramp when cycling. I've had a cramp after cycling, but never had a cramp during cycling. Bro, Keith, I think you sent me that video. I was checking it out, but I'm going to recheck it out. I peeped the channel, bro. I was excited to hear your accent. It's Irish accent, eh? Do I learn anything special about people during Uber work? Well, you learn anything you learn from just doing any profession, really. You know, I take my job seriously when I'm doing Uber Eats. You know, I try and be professional in a sense about it. Sounds funny, but I mean, that's the only, you got to make meaning out of it, bro. You know, but people are real fucking, I mean, it sounds cliche and you think that people don't actually think like this, but sometimes you interact with some people who almost think they're above you because you're delivering their food to them. And it's really not the case, man. I don't need to be delivering food, dude. I could just sell fucking t-shirts all day and not have to do Uber. But I enjoy it, man, because it keeps me with the people. And that's what I enjoy about it so much, and it's really a blessing that I have the opportunity to do this work. And some people look at you like they're beneath you, like they're special. So I'm just delivering food, dude. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing I've really ever encountered. Sometimes you get eyed off by other delivery drivers who are like cool. And because you do Uber, it's not really a cool, I mean, in terms of delivery, doing Uber is not the cool thing to deliver. I mean, just being a general courier and shit. I mean, supposedly, I think just from catching the vibe, that's much more cool than doing Uber. Because the only people I know who do Uber are like Indians, Pakistanis, Arabs, and a few Australians. But they're the minority. So for the majority of us, it's a bunch of us are just uncoordinated, riding Huffies dual suspension with 25 PSI in our tires. It's not a dude on a fixie, skidding, looking old dope. You know, so I've encountered some people before who are just fucking dickheads, man. You know, like, you know, man, I can't give you any advice on I would just say start a program and fucking enjoy it. Because when I got into bodybuilding, bro, I just fell in love with it, dude. And it was my whole life, it was my whole reality. And I just loved it so much that I could easily take myself to the point that my eyes would fucking bleed during the set. So I just fell in love with it. So I have no advice other than just to start and buckle up for the journey of a lifetime. You know what I mean? So shouts to you, bro. I've never done any of those programs, but I know they work if you just love them. Why do you do the shittest video quality for these videos? Your pro videos are astonishing. I want to watch more, but I like your film. Bro, it's just because, you know, there's no need for me to have a fucking 1080p video of this. I mean, people are watching it live. I mean, I hardly leave these videos up. I don't really have any ambitions in making a quality's a debatable term. I mean, if you're talking about just straight camera quality, I don't really have any ambitions in making a straight, good camera quality, audio quality video right now. I mean, that's the truth. Oh, Keith. Keith, your brother's name's Sean. Is his name Sean? Is it, what's his, why am I getting tripped out? Maybe it's the last name that's making me think you have a brother called Sean. Not really Red Pill Vegan. I mean, I don't really look back on the videos and think what was my best video. I mean, there's some videos I like more than others. And it's easy to like them more now when I look back on them. You know what I mean? Because it's cool to do that. I mean, that giant Buddha's mad. I mean, I like that just because it's like a really special place in the world where you can just get a drone up and film a fucking big Buddha statue in Hong Kong. You know, so, I mean, that was cool. I'm glad I was making videos like that back then. So, David, that's it, David. Sorry, I thought it was Sean. Maybe the last name's tripping me out. So yeah, I was happy, man. Would you ever check out my videos? Of course, just link me to the channel if you haven't already. I'm a full-time streamer, lad. I'm a full-time streamer, full-time talker. I'm on the phone, man. No, you can't be saying that. You know, I appreciate the people who appreciate the talks, man. Boom. Oliver. Ollie, I should say, if that's you can be called that. Shouts to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. When's the vid coming out? You know, my next vid, bro, my next vid is cartoon. I'm trying to come out with a cartoon, bro. So I need to finish writing the cartoon. And then I need to find someone to actually do the cartoon work, because I can't draw no fucking cartoons, man. It's something I pay someone to do. So that's my next thing, but that's not coming out for a month, man, because I've got to finish writing it, and I've got to find the cartoon. That probably I don't think I'm going to release the cartoon in full, because it'll be a long cartoon, man. I mean, because it'll be thousands and thousands of words. I mean, how can you? It's going to be hard to make in one cartoon. So maybe a few parts of the cartoon. You know, I'm excited for that. I mean, it's interesting because I don't even know how you would make a cartoon. You know, like, is that just done on how do you make a cartoon, bro? I'm not looking for a crazy quality cartoon. I'm just looking for a basic image cartoon thing happening. So, yeah. I mean, that'd be cool. How do I act when random people approach me on the street who watch my videos? You know, I act normal, bro. I understand sometimes it can be awkward because, I mean, a lot of people come up to me and they say, it's weird seeing you in real life. And they feel a bit awkward about it. But I tell them, like, yo, it's normal to feel awkward about it. Like, it's not normal. You know, this isn't really a normal way of interacting, which is cool. And I'm very happy they come up to me because that's what I want. I want them to come up to me and say, yo, I watch your thing. And I want to meet them and I want to talk to them because I'm a fan of them. But sometimes, you know, it starts off a bit awkward, but it's easily sorted out by, you know, it is weird meeting someone off the internet first time and you don't know how to act and you don't know what to say and you don't know what it's going to be like. So, I mean, you just address that real quick and then it just dissipates and it's just normal conversation. So, I'd love to meet you at Lister's Inn. I mean, that'd be a glorious moment one day. And, yeah, I met, you know, last week I was hanging out with Matt McLean and Zoe from the stream. I mean, they were cool as fuck. I mean, there was not the slightest bit awkward when I met them. And we had lunch, dinner, walked a few times when they were in Melbourne. And I mean, that was really cool, man. So, you know, I met a lot of people off the stream who've become friends and long-term friends, which is cool, you know, so grateful for the stream. Man! Ooh! Shout out to Young Me. Thank you. Any teasers on the topic of the cartoon? Well, the topic of the cartoon, bro, it's not really... you know, it was just going to be a book, man. It's not a book, man. Like, I feel wank saying it's a book. It's not a book, dude. All right, so last year, man, I'm going to fill you in on the situation. Last year I was, you know, I was real quiet at work. Extremely quiet at work. Making fuck all money, extremely low amounts of money. The lowest amount of money I've ever made in my life for that amount of hours I put in. Like, I would have been making over $1,000 a week if I was doing any other job, but I was doing Uber and I was making like crazy below minimum wage. So I had a lot of time on my hands, man. So I was like, you know, if I got a lot of time on my hands, I'm gonna sit on this bench. I'm gonna meditate my life away on this bench and do some writing, write some notes. You know, so for, you know, every day I would just write a note, and yeah, I would just write notes, and sometimes they made no sense, and sometimes they made sense, and they were completely unrelated topics. Sometimes it was what I was feeling. Sometimes I was trying to think of a topic, and I'd write about it, and that's all I really did for, you know, a few weeks, was sit on this bench and write not even a lot, just a little paragraph per day, sometimes a few sentences per day on what I was feeling. I was challenging myself to find something within myself that was of a higher knowledge and express that in words. And that's what I did. Whether it makes sense or not, I'm not sure. You're going to have to see it, read it, watch it. And, you know, I was showing my mate one day and he was like, fuck, that sounds actually pretty good. Did you write that? And I was like, yeah, I fucking wrote that, dude. And then we were like, dude, maybe you should fucking put that in a Word document and give it to somebody, because who knows, they might like it too. And I was like, you know, that's not a bad idea. Now, a part of me was like, I don't want to do that, man, because, you know, I don't write anything, and, you know, like, people are going to think I'm trying to be a writer when I'm not really a writer. But then I was like, what the fuck is this thought, man? And I was just like, just write it up, put it out, people might like it. So that's what I started doing. And then I was like, dude, this would be mad with a cartoon. Like, it'd be mad with a cartoon to back it up. You know what I mean? To be the voice, and then the cartoon be acting out the scenarios, man. Because some of the scenarios in these notes are crazy. You know, like I'm talking about Frodo, Sam, and Gollum walking up the steep staircase to nowhere, having to face that big spider, facing down that big spider. And Frodo's getting fucked up, and he's like fighting the spider, and he realizes the staircase was a staircase to nowhere, and Sam was this voice of truth in his head the whole time, and he was betrayed by Gollum, this voice of reason, and he realizes his destiny, man. And you know, so that needs to be done visually. I mean, it sounds good in words, man, but I mean, visually that would look epic in a cartoon. You know, and we're talking about the shrubbed path of awakening. You know, like, so I'm excited. No, these are, the ones on the Instagram story are related. They're from the writing. You know what I mean? You know, I get this question a lot, man. How did I come in contact with Joe Delaney? Fuck, I don't even remember. Okay. Well, I kind of do remember. I was going to the UK to film Mike Cobb's funeral. And Joe just messaged me. And then we got talking, and then he offered I could stay at his house in Manchester if I needed a place to stay. And I graciously accepted his offer. And that's how I met him, man. I just rocked up to the train station. He was waiting for me. We walked home. We got off chatting. And you know, I was a bum at his house for a while, which I do owe him. I do owe him. You know, I owe him quite a lot for that. Like, I mean, not many people are gonna let you do that for such a substantial amount of time. And you know, my house is always open to him for as long as he needs, man. And anything he ever needs, I'm there for him. So it was that simple, really. But I don't think he would have known me if it wasn't for YouTube. will your cartoon be similar to the Big Les show? I don't know the Big Les show. I'm in Manchester at the moment, 2,000 k from home. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, I like Manchester. Where do you live, bro, originally? I mean, the internet's a blessing and a curse, man. I mean, that was a time where the internet was an extreme blessing and it did connect people. Have I ever gone through a depression related to spiritual awakening? Yes. I mean, they're kind of big terms. I mean, depression, spiritual awakening, and I kind of feel wank sometimes talking about them. But let's go with it. Yes, I did, because it was almost like, how do I say this? It was almost like I felt so removed from this life that I had been living that it was hard for me to find meaning in the things I found meaningful, and it scared the fuck out of me. Like, it was almost like all of what I had previously attached myself to suddenly became meaningless. Like, it just dawned on me. I don't know why, I just felt like they became meaningless. The love of them was stripped from me, and I didn't like how that felt, because they were giving me such a purpose and a meaning before, and I felt numb to it. Like, I was looking at my girlfriend thinking, like, what happens if you're next? Like, what happens if I lose my passion for this? And then I was like, what happens if, like, I look at my mum and I'm like, I don't even care no more. And I look at my family and think, you're just my family. And I get stripped of all these beautiful attachments that I like having in my life. And it scared the fuck out of me. But until I got over that fear and I just realized, like, this is the blessing of being a human being in this world. It's like, you can attach yourself to whatever you want. I mean, you give meaning to everything. So personally, like, attachments like family, a girlfriend, things like this, they're things I love. And they're things that I choose to be involved in. And then everything else can fall to the wayside. But that whole process of I felt like I was reintegrating in the world was kind of tough. And at first, feeling like I was so far removed from it scared me, because I didn't know, if I could re-enter it again, and if that was it, like, I was just going to become an emotionally numb dude walking around who felt no meaning within anything, But then you realize you give it meaning, and the meaning's completely dictated by you. So, yeah. Do I ever get flashbacks that make me nostalgic? I mean, I don't even know the definition of nostalgic. But you're talking about nostalgic as in, like, when you're just... Is that only in reference to when you're young, or just or any moment? But sometimes I smell things, and I'll be riding and I'll smell things and it'll remind me of a time when I was overseas, and just the smell of a place will take me somewhere, which is quite crazy how smell can literally transport you back to somewhere. And that's how it feels, so... my ultimate goal in life, my ultimate goal in life, I mean, its ultimate goal is to experience the ultimate form of reality. And obviously that can change, but because who knows what happens. And I don't really know anything, dude. I'm just willing to talk about being a human being because, I mean, fuck it, who cares? I'm qualified to because I'm a human having my own experience. Having an experience, so that allows me to, I'm in a position to talk about it. But in no way am I trying to say that what I'm saying is truth or right. It's certainly my truth, but it might not be yours. And for me at the time, the goal of life, it's a nauseating term because it seems so far out of reach. But the more I think about it is, you just want to live, man. That's what, for me, it's just like, I just want to make sure that I'm fully awakened, I'm fully alive. That if I want to be experiencing 100% of life, man. I don't want to be 80% experiencing it, preparing for something else. I don't want to be 40% experiencing it because I'm trying to earn more money. I want to be 100% experiencing it the best I can, living at my full potential, obviously limited by what I came to Earth with, my 5 senses in my brain. But I want to perceive it on the highest level, the ultimate. I want to perceive it on the highest level possible, whatever that is, you know what I mean? So I can go out knowing that you know, I felt what it was like to actually be a human being and alive. Not in some fucking fairy tale. Not in just some limited projection of, well, the mind's projection of life is so limited already, but you choose to be limited by much more. And I can't live with myself knowing that through my choices, my belief systems, my practices, my fear, that I was limited by more than what I could have been, or limited in seeing what really was happening. And yeah, I mean, a long way to answer your question, but I mean that's all I really want, and that's all I really work for, man. Really, that's all I ever really work for. I don't work for money. I don't work for fame on the internet. I don't really work for any of that. You know what I mean? How do you think you get from the numbness back to the full experience of life? First off, I think for a lot of us, man, is we think we know a lot. And definitely I think I know a lot, and that's one of my problems. But, you know, as time's gone on, I've tried to reduce my concept of my own understanding. I mean, and it's almost the product of just the world we grow up in. I mean, you go through school and you get a degree and you think you're a sick cunt. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, the pinnacle of knowledge is a degree, or the pinnacle of knowledge is 99.9% on your ATAR or your test in year 12. And, you know, you kind of have this belief system backed up through curriculums and confirmation through school. And I mean, if you get a high degree, if you get a high mark, they say you're smart and you understand. And it forms this rock hard mind that's really thinks it knows everything and isn't open to anything it doesn't know. And it's really this idea that you know is what really sucks the color out of life, man, because life becomes a bleak canvas with no magic, because you think you know everything. You see simply with your eyes, and it's so limited, man. It's like I said, it's limited already, but you see only with your eyes, and you think you know everything, and the magic is gone. There's no more learning. There's no more. It's Monday through Friday. It's your income. That's all you know. But there's no more magic. There's no more what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to react. It gets stripped completely. So I think the first step for a lot of people, and I'm only speaking from my own experience with my own self, is the first experience is to understand that in the speck of knowledge out there, you really know fuck all. And that's more of a humbling exercise. And you might know a lot, and that's true. But in the scheme of what's out there, you really don't know. And then you have to understand that you're a limited you're living within limited walls. You're limited within, you know, your five senses. And there's always going to be limitations of your understanding. So knowing that there's a veil cast on the actual reality allows you also to think that there's more to it. And then once you think there's more to it and you've opened up your understanding, then the magic slowly starts to come back. The color starts to return to the trees. The air starts to feel a bit different, and you start to resensitize to the magic that's everywhere around you. I mean, you spend your time looking so far beyond your own experience, so far beyond your own circumstances for magic. You know what I mean? You're looking at the monks in the Himalayas. I mean, you're looking at cunts jumping out of fucking planes. You're looking at scientists in a fucking lab when you don't realize that the magic's been within your lap this whole time. The fact that you're alive, conscious, is magic. I mean, tell me it's not an act of magic. It's really fucking magical. The fact that you walk around all day, you have the act of thinking if you want, and this whole game you're stuck in is fucking insane. It's beyond comprehension. For anybody, it's beyond comprehension. It's beyond. It's your mind can't get a handle on it, which is extremely magical. And that really puts the fun back in the situation, and it's something you always remind yourself of and you live with every day, and something that makes you feel good, man. It makes you feel warm, like knowing that there's bigger things happening. So yeah, I mean, a long way of answering your question, but it's a complicated question. You know, you would motherfucking hope, dude. You would fucking hope you would fucking hope that you had the clarity of mind. Clarity of whatever. To think that there's more going on than what you see. Because if you don't understand that, if you can't get beyond that, you're really fucked. You're really fucked. And I hate to be so blunt, but if you think that what you see with your own two eyes is it, is the end, is the truth, you've lost. And it's going to be bleak motherfucking existence for you. And you're just going to be stuck in a game that you can never win. Sounds brutal, but I mean, I'm just saying how I feel. So shout out to you, man. Yeah, so, I mean, it's been an interesting chat today. It's been a very interesting chat today. I've enjoyed it so far. We'll go for a few more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. We'll get to 100 minutes and we'll wrap it up. Shouts to riding mountain bikes as road bikes. Yeah, shouts to that, man. I mean, it's great how you can do that. Suspension cruising through the city. Man. Oh my God, hey, fuck. Slow as fuck, I need to get back on the road bike, eh? Shout out to you. Yeah, the suspension is absorbing every shock. Do you think that by working hard and saving a bit of money will pay off in the future? I mean, it depends what you want to do, man. It really depends what you want to do. Like, I mean, yeah, it can. I mean, saving money for this future that's not even real, that you're never going to even really live out, is foolish. But I mean, you know, money is a part of our life, man. I mean, it just is what it is, and you need money to do things. So, like, if I want to go to fucking Bangkok and I need money in 6 months, obviously I need to save my money. I mean, there's no real more mystical approach to it other than saving your money. And if that's what I want to do, I got to do what I need to do what I want to do. I mean, obviously I would love to just get there without paying, or get there and be able to spend money without paying, but it's not really realistic, is it? It's not really the world we live in. So, I mean, yeah, but I think you know that there's a line. I mean, you can just be saving for the sake of saving for something that's never going to happen, never going to come, and then you're just going to be stuck working and saving for fucking nothing. And then you just end up being a greedy, selfish cunt who just saves all the time. You don't even spend your money. What's the point of making money? You're not going to fucking use it. You know what I mean, dude? What's the point of making money? You're not going to use it. What's the point of? Bro. Honestly, I couldn't go to work if there was no reason. I couldn't do it, man. And I struggle to do it when there's no reason. You know, like if I'm not trying to eat, if I'm not trying to have a bed, if I'm not trying to do something, there's no point for me. So, there is merit in saving money for the future, man. As long as you keep it under control. Bradley Woodruff House. I mean, shouts to you, brother. Everything's great, man. You're quite late. We're about to wrap up. I don't know what time it is where you are, but you know, I don't know the Wim Hof method. Well, I do briefly. I've never tried it. I'm not too skilled up on it. I know a few people who've done it, and they said they liked it, but I never really looked into it too much. I mean, you tell me, bro. I mean, you go try it and come back to me and tell you how you liked it. I mean, I haven't heard of anyone dying from doing it. So give it a crack. I mean, you may as well. You might find something you're looking for. Are you a different person from when you made funny videos 2 years ago? Well, the obvious answer is yes. I mean, I don't even think about it. Like, I don't even think about it, brother. Like, I think people think now they see me on YouTube and shit and they think like, fuck, this cunt's so different. He doesn't even fucking laugh no more. He doesn't even smile no more. He doesn't even make jokes no more. And I mean, it's the furthest thing from the truth. It's just like, I just don't make those type of videos anymore. You know what I mean? And I don't really think about it beyond that. You know, like, I don't really think about it beyond that. I mean, you'd hope that the person you was 2 years ago has changed, and you'd hope so. You'd fucking absolutely hope so, dude. You'd hope that you've fuck, mate, moved the needle a little bit forward. And I think, you know, some people just relate to shit on an emotional level. Like, if they think that that's all they know. All they know is, I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying some people, all they know is emotions. All they know is what it feels like to drink 4 shots of coffee, be happy for a minute, and say the C word. That's all they know. And that's all they can relate to, man. They can't relate to anything deeper or higher understanding than that. I'm not saying that's you. So, you know, you get dudes saying like, oh, you're not happy no more. Oh, you've changed for the worse. Or, but they see it on such a scale where it's like, if you're not swearing or making a joke, then your life must have crumbled to pieces like a building that's just exploded. And it's the furthest thing from the truth, but I can understand why people think that. And I don't resent anyone who thinks that anyway. I might have used to think like, why is this motherfucker saying that? Because it's probably I was resistant to my own change. But now that I've accepted the process of just changing, I don't really care. You know, so. Shit, Mr. Stream, shouts to you, legend. Shouts to you, Buzz. I'm in the UK, so it's like 22:30, but training, bro. You putting up this on the channel ever for a couple of days would be great, haha. Yeah, I might put it up there, man. We'll see, lad, we'll see. You need to cheer up, bro. Shouts to you. I love it when dudes tell me to cheer up, eh? Shouts to you, Flames. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, man. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Cheer up. People think they're entitled to your emotions. Yeah, straight up. I mean, I've definitely experienced that on YouTube, man. Thanks, bro. Uber been busy. Uber's been busy, man. It's been around $20 per hour, if I'm going to be specific. It's been around $20 per hour. On maybe today's a bit slow because Tuesdays is always a bit shit. You know, it's almost like people blow their money on a Monday and then on Tuesday they're like, I'm going to start saving. So Tuesdays are always a bit slow, but apart from that, it's been pretty good, man. Like, fuck, hey. You know, they started cracking down on temporary resident visas. So a lot of my friends are, you know, struggling to work more than 20 hours a week, and it's fucked, you know. I guess it's the rules of their visa, and it's annoying for a lot of people because they can't work as much as they would like to, but it's made Uber a bit more busy. So it's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. Like, it's good because now for the people, when we work, I mean, even for the people who are getting their hours cut, they make more money. Or if not the same money. But it's bad because it's just, you know, like, people trying to make money and work, like, so. Just exactly what you're trying to do, and you don't want them to get their jobs cut, so. At the expense of you making more money, I mean, it's not really a good feeling. Any more vids with Joey Dink? I mean, when we cross paths, we'll make videos, man. Yeah, Australians do eat kangaroo. Would you consider yourself a ladies' man? I wouldn't consider myself anything, man. I mean, I wouldn't waste my time trying to consider myself a lady. Oh, it's not something I would even waste my time thinking about. Am I a ladies' man? Am I not a ladies' man? I'm just a fucking human being, dude. It's not something I think about, bro. You know? ladies man, not ladies man, cool, not cool, attractive, not attractive, funny, not funny. It's just like you're just operating as a human, and whatever people want to think of you, they can think of you. I'm not thinking about whether I'm a ladies man or not. You know, so. I'm enjoying the Chris Melbourne weather, bro. I'm always enjoying it. You know? Grow out your hair again. Fuck, man, eh? You know, I'm not going to even get into the hair topic, bro. I'm not even going to get into the fucking hair topic, man. I'm still breaking the internet, dude. But I never thought in my life I'd have so many people concerned about my haircut. Now, I'm not talking about you specifically, why I am, because you said the question, but you just brought up the topic. I never thought I'd have more people in my life talking about my fucking hair, man. It's really fucking bizarre, man. It's a bizarre complex with humans, like, that concerned about my hair. Like, it's almost like when I cut off my hair, it was at the time, it was so like life-changing for people that I would be so willing to cut off the hair, like it meant nothing. When their fucking haircut must mean, it just made me think, like, dudes' hairs and shit and appearance must mean so fucking much to them, dude, that if I cut my hair like it's fucking nothing, it triggers them to think, like, it triggers them. It was a trigger, dude. Because I had dudes emailing me, not emailing me, but you know what I mean? I would get the question at least every time I made a video, grow your hair out, grow your hair out, grow your hair out, grow your hair out. I was like, fuck, dude, calm down, eh? And then it made me think, I'm actually kind of glad I cut my hair. At the time, I didn't realize. I just cut it because I felt like fucking cutting it. But it's now, I tell you what, man, life is much more simple with no fucking hair. Pea protein video was hilarious. I mean, shouts to you, brother. Shout outs to the pea protein video. I mean, I enjoyed that video. The Push by Tommy Caldwell. Never heard of it. Shouts to you. I hope it's good. Do you think that long days Deliveroo for ultra endurance? Great question. I think, bro, I mean, in terms of the physical, you know, the biggest aspect that has to carry over is the fact that you're out there for so long. And I think the biggest thing is long days doing deliveries, especially when it's not busy, is the patience. You get patient and you learn to accept whatever is happening. And you realize that you're not in control of whether you get deliveries or not. It's just something out of your control. And all you're in control of is being online and being out there. So that lends itself very well to ultra endurance, because then when, you know, all you can do is be in control of the fact that you're turning the pedals. You can't control the weather. You can't control tailwind. You can't control anything fucking else other than the fact that you're going to turn the pedals and your willingness to be there. So it's the same thing with the long Uber days. And the fact that you're out there for so long. I mean, we used to do 24-hour Uber days, dude. 24 hours, man. Like, I saw Star Wars, The Force Awakens or whatever. I mean, The Last Jedi. And we would go do 24 hours after, like, we were Jedis doing Uber. Like, it was mad. You can't do that anymore because they put a time limit on how many hours you can work. Because I think they started to realize that we were doing 24 hours. Like, we didn't care no more. We'd just sit on the fucking bench. Like, we loved it, dude. And there were so many of us doing it. We had our own community. We would just sit on the bench, man. And doing 24 hours with that community was like, it was just a good thing of community, man, that showed you, like, we had our own little Uber religion, man. We had our community. We had our practice. And we would just sit on that bench making cash. Even if it was like $5 an hour, we were going to make 24 times 5. You know, so it was satisfying, bro. Like, I've never been that satisfied doing such long shifts, making such fuck all money. It was very satisfying, man. You know, like, so you never know. I might start doing that again. Every month the Uber community recycles, man. People go home, people come back, people leave, people stop working. There's always new people, new faces, which is cool, man. It's a new community every month. Anyway, people start talking about cocaine prices, whatever you're talking about, eh? I will fucking leave it there, right? Alright, shout out to all of you, by the way. It's been a great live stream. It's been great. Let me turn this light off. Save the battery. Shout out to everybody who contributed. Shout out to everybody who asked a question. Shout out to everybody for being here, everybody. Shout out to everybody who supported the channel, bought a t-shirt. Shout out to everybody for being a human being. And, you know, I'll see you in a few days' time. Enjoy.